everybody, I am Green Eileen, and I want to talk to you about native landscaping versus artificial turf. Because in the scheme of things, the majority of water use is done for landscaping. Household water use is done. 50 to 75% goes to the outdoors versus the indoors. And where I'm from, we import 90 to 95% of our water from the Colorado River or from the State Water Project, which is from the Sierras, and then we ship it down, which in water is heavy, it's very expensive. I'm very, very conscious of how much water I use on a daily basis because it is precious. They're not making more of it unless you have a desalination plant close by, which doesn't produce that much water in the scheme of things, that I am always promoting native landscaping. Why is that? Versus artificial turf, because both of them, you would think, would be a benefit to have. You would think artificial turf or native landscaping, you know, let me weigh the benefits. Well, in my mind, there's so many bad things about artificial turf that I get this question a lot, which is, what are the bad things? So I've got this little article here from Bay Area Water Supply. Even though I'm in Southern California, they put it together nice for me so I could explain it to you. Number one, artificial turf is not living landscape and does not increase biodiversity of plants, animals, and insect population. We have a dying bee population. It's very important to have plants that you can get their food from, that we could pollinate our flowers. We have monarch butterflies that migrate from Mexico all the way to Canada. They need a respite. We also have birds. We have bees. We have bumblebees. There are a lot that happen when you have a native landscaping garden. You do not get that with artificial turf. You just have turf, and that's it. That's it. Also, it fosters, a native landscaping fosters healthy soils. There's something that's called a microbiome that happens underneath the soil, like this crust of micronutrients and worms. Yes, worms are good, and bugs. And you don't have that with artificial. Whatever goes down through the water that goes down to the soil, you're actually poisoning the soil because of all of the plastics and resins and stuff that is in artificial turf. Also, whenever you have a garden area or a landscaped area, it is much cooler than it is with artificial turf. Artificial turf has a black barrier underneath it. It's very hot. We went out to the desert and had to relieve our dogs. We were driving 6 hours. And so this particular gas station had a relief center, which was artificial turf, and I could not walk on it. I would not allow my dogs to walk on it. It was so hot. So it actually contributes to urban jungle versus native landscaping, which helps decrease the amount of emissions and CO2 in the air. Also, artificial turf is not water-free, which is really interesting. My neighbor has artificial turf, and we have the native landscaping. And she still uses a gardener. They use their blower every week. They use their blower, gas-powered blower. So that is putting emissions. Luckily for us, we can take those emissions away because we're carbon negative. She also waters it every day. 5:38 in the morning. I know because I've been up at that time and I hear it. So she waters it every day. We water it seasonally. During the summertime, yeah, we water about once a week. We hand water. This time of year, during the wintertime and the spring, we don't water at all. We don't need to. It's native landscaping. It knows the soil, it knows the weather, and it knows the bugs. So what's next before I get too long-winded? Okay. Because artificial turf can get very hot. Okay, next is artificial turf has potential environmental concerns. Yes, runoff from artificial turf may contain pollutants like heavy metals and chemicals that can reach surface water or groundwater. Yeah, every time that it's going into the water goes into the soil or into the storm drain, it is taking with it just toxic runoff. Also, it encourages you to, it says, results may vary. Here's the disclaimer. Results may vary for different artificial turf products, so be sure to see report from the Environmental and Human Health Incorporated. There's always, we always got to go to the source for the right information. And also, artificial turf is a synthetic material with a relatively short lifespan. And it says between 10 to 20 years. Well-defined short lifespan. If we're looking at the lifespan of a human, that's relatively short. If we're looking at the lifespan of of a dog, that's pretty long. So it's like, it's all relative. And let's see. So go to your local water company. Here's the final PSA for the day. Go to your local water company utility and find out what resources they have for you, whether it's rebates, whether it's information, whether it is education. You would be very surprised to find out what your local utility has for you and your household that can improve, your pocketbook, because it may help you reduce cost. It also has rebates, so you get a little bit of money back if you were to replace anything, especially your grass, turf. But what was the last reason that I can't remember? Resources, education, and enhance your life. Because when you have a beautiful garden, not only are you attracting bees, bugs, butterflies, hummingbirds, etc., but you're also attracting curb appeal. And when it comes to value of a home, curb appeal is one of the most important things, because you only have one time. You only have one time to make a first impression, something like that. So consider native landscaping. All of your utility companies should have information on that. You're doing good for you, you're doing good for the environment, and you're doing good for the world. Make a change. Thank you so much. I'm Green Eileen, looking forward to my next video. Bye.